Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Tech Quest Learning World. Hope you are doing well. Today I want to discuss the question answer for the exam DP-900 part 2. Part 1 previous section I discussed already question number 1 to 20. Today I want to discuss question number 21 to 40. Okay, let's start. Question number 21. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. The visualization that illustrates a university's current student enrollment per department is an example of dash analytics. Option A, cognitive. Option B, descriptive. Option C, predictive. Option D, prescriptive. Answer. It's an example of descriptive analytics because the simplest way to define descriptive analytics is that it answers the questions what was happened. This type of analytics analyzes the data coming in real time and historical data for insights on how to approach the future. So the correct option is descriptive analytics. Next question. Question number 22. Drag drop. Match the types of data to the appropriate Azure data services. To answer, drag the appropriate data type from the column on the left to its service on the right. Each data type may be used once, more than once, or not at all. Note: each correct match is worth 1 point. Data types, image files, key value pairs, relationships between employees. Answer. For Azure Blob Storage, the appropriate data will be image files. The Azure Cosmos DB Gremlin API is key value pairs and relationships between employees. Data type is for Azure Table Storage. Next question. Question number 23. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. Creating closed caption text for audio files is an example of dash analytics. Option A, cognitive. Option B, descriptive. Option C, predictive. Option D, prescriptive. Answer. The correct option is descriptive analytics. Azure Media Indexer enables you to make content of your media files searchable and to generate a full text transcript for closed captioning and keywords. You can process one media file or multiple media files in a batch. Next question. Question number 24. Drag drop. Match the Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2 terms to the appropriate levels in the hierarchy. To answer, drag the appropriate term from the column on the left to its level on the right. Each term may be used once, more than once, or not at all. Note: each correct match is worth 1 point. Terms: Azure Storage Account, File Share, Container. Answer: Azure Storage Accounts and File Share. Next question. Question number 25. Which statement is an example of data manipulation language DML? Option A, revoke. Option B, disable. Option C, create. Option D, update. Answer. We know that it's possible to affect the information stored in the database by using the statements of data manipulation language DML, such as insert, update, delete, and merge. So the correct option is D. Next question. Question number 26. What are two characteristics of real-time data processing? Is correct answer presents a complete solution. Note: Each correct selection is worth 1 point. Option A. Data is processed periodically. Option B. Low latency is expected. Option C. High latency is acceptable. Option D. Data is processed as it is created. Answer. In option A, data is processed periodically, not real time. So this option is incorrect. In option C, it is said that high latency is required, but for real-time data processing, minimal latency is required. So this option is incorrect. Option B and D are correct because real-time processing deals with streams of data that are captured in real time and processed with minimal latency to generate real-time or near real-time reports or automated responses. Next question, question number 27. Your company recently reported sales from the third quarter. You have the chart shown in the following exhibit. Which type of analysis is shown in the fourth quarter? Option A. Predictive. Option B. Prescriptive. Option C. Descriptive. Option D. Diagnostic. Answer. The correct option is A because the predictive analysis clears the answer of the questions what will happen. Question number 28. Drag drop. Match the Azure Data Factory components to the appropriate descriptions. To answer, drag the appropriate component from the column on the left to its description on the right. Each component may be used once, more than once, or not at all. Note, each correct match is worth 1 point. Components: dataset, linked service, mapping data flow, pipeline. Answer. In the description, representation of data structure within data stores will match with the components dataset because datasets represent data structures within the data stores which simply point to or reference the data you want to use in your activities as inputs or outputs. The second description, the information used to connect to external resources will match with the components linked services because linked services are much like connecting strings which define the connection information that's needed for data factory to connect to external resources. Think of it this way: a linked service defines the connection to the data source and a dataset represents the structure of the data. The third description, a logical grouping of activities that performs a unit of work and can be scheduled, will match with the components pipeline because a data factory might have one or more pipelines. A pipeline is a logical grouping of activities that performs a unit of work. Together, the activities in a pipeline perform a task. For example, a pipeline can contain a group of activities that ingests data from an Azure blob and then runs a Hive query on an HD Insight cluster to partition the data. Next question, question number 29. Drag drop. Your company plans to load data from a customer relationships management CRM system to a data warehouse by using an extract, load, and transform ELT process. Where does data processing occur for each stage of the ELT process? To answer, drag the appropriate locations to the correct stages. Each location may be used once, more than once, or not at all. You may need to drag the split bar between panes or scroll to view content. Note: each correct selection is worth 1 point. Locations: a standalone data analysis tool, the CRM system, the data warehouse. Answer: in the extract stage of ELT process, data is collected from a source. In this scenario, data is collected from the CRM system. So, the correct location is the CRM system. For extract stage, in the load stage of ELT process, data is loaded into a data storage. So, the correct location is the data warehouse for the load stage. In the transform stage of ELT process, the data analysis operation including filtering, sorting, aggregating, joining data, cleaning data, deduplicating and validating data is performed. Therefore, the correct location is a standalone data analysis tool for the transform stage. Next question number 30. Drag drop. Match the types of workloads to appropriate scenarios. To answer, drag the appropriate workload type from the column on the left to each scenario on the right. Each workload type may be used once, more than once, or not at all. Note: each correct match is worth 1 point. Workload types: batch, streaming. Answer: in the first description, data will be loaded by every 12 hours to a data warehouse. That means data is loaded periodically. So, this description will match with the workload type of batch, because batch processing refers to the processing of blocks of data that have already been stored over a period of time. In the second description, data will be loaded into a data warehouses in real time. So, this description will match with the streaming, because stream processing is a big data technology that allows us to process data in real time as they arrive and detect conditions within a small period of time from the point of receiving the data. In the third description, data will be loaded to a data warehouse every 1 million transactions. That means data is loaded periodically. So this description will match with workload type of batch. Next question number 31. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. Dash physically sorts the data in a table based on the values in the specified column. Option A view. Option B, a cluster index. Option C, a stored procedure. Option D, a non-clustered index. Answer: clustered indexes sort and store data rows in the table or viewed based on their key values. These are the columns included in the index definition. There can be only one clustered index per table, because the data rows themselves can be stored in only one order. So the correct option is B. Next question number 32. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. An extract, load and transform ELT process require dash. Option A separate transformation engine. Option B, a target data store powerful enough to transform data. Option C, data that is fully processed before being loaded to the target data store. Option D, a data pipeline that includes a transformation engine. Answer: the correct option is B. That means a target data store powerful enough to transform data. Next question. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. Relational data is stored in dash. Option A file system as unstructured data. Option B, a hierarchical folder structure. Option C, a tabular form of rows and columns. Option D. Comma separated value CSV files. Answer. In a relational database, data is stored in table which is organized into columns and rows. So the correct option is C. Next question, question number 34. You need to create an Azure resource to store data in Azure table storage. Which command should you run? Option A. Is it storage share create? Option B. Is it storage account create? Option C. Is it Cosmos DB create? Option D. Is it storage container create? Answer. The correct option is D. The command is it storage container create. Next question, question number 35. Which Azure storage solution provides native support for POSIX compliant access control list ACLS? Option A. Azure table storage. Option B. Azure data lake storage. Option C. Azure queue storage. Option D. Azure files. Answer. Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2 implements an access control model that supports both Azure role-based access control Azure RBAC and POSIX like a access control list ACLS. So the correct option is B. Next question, question number 36. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. The Azure Cosmos DB-API enables the use of select statements to retrieve documents from the Azure Cosmos DB. Option A. Core SQL. Option B. Gremlin. Option C. MongoDB. Option D. Table. Answer. The correct option is A, because Azure Cosmos DB SQL API accounts provide support for querying items using the structured query language SQL syntax. Next, question number 37. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. Dash natively support the analysis of relationships between entities. Option A. Column family databases. Option B. Document databases. Option C. Graph databases. Option D. Key value stores. Answer. A graph database stores two types of information, nodes and edges. Edges specify relationships between nodes. Nodes and edges can have properties that provide information about the node or edge. Similar to columns in table, edges can also have a direction indicating the nature of the relationship. Graph databases can efficiently perform queries across the network of nodes and edges and analyze the relationships between entities. So the correct option is C. Question number 38. You need to modify a view in a relationship database by adding a new column. Which statement should you use? Option A. Merge. Option B. Alter. Option C. Insert. Option D. Update. Answer. It's possible to add new column by using the alter statement. Therefore, the correct statement is B. Next question. Question number 39. You plan to deploy a PostgreSQL database to Azure. Which hosting model corresponds to available deployment option? To answer, select the appropriate options in the answer area. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. PostgreSQL on Azure VMs dash Azure database for PostgreSQL dash. Option A. Infrastructure as a service IaaS. Option B. Platform as a service PaaS. Option C, software as a service SaaS. Answer. In PostgreSQL on Azure VMs, everything is customer managed. That means PostgreSQL on Azure VMs must be IaaS. So the correct option is IaaS. For Azure database for PostgreSQL, the correct option is PaaS. Next question. Question number 40. For each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true. Otherwise, select no. Note: each correct selection is worth 1 point. Statement 1. Extract, transform and load ETL reduce the transfer of sensitive data to destination statements. Statement 2. Extract, load and transform ELT transforms data by using a compute resource independent of the source system and destination system. Statement 3. Extract, load and transform ELT minimizes the time it takes to copy large volumes of data to destination system. Answer. In the statement 1, we know that the data transformation that takes place usually involves various operations such as filtering, sorting, aggregating, joining data, cleaning data, deduplicating, and validating data. Therefore, this statement is true. In the statement 2, the transformation occurs in the target data store. Instead of using a separate transformation engine, the processing capabilities of the target data store are used to transform data. So this statement is false. In the statement 3, the key point with ELT is that the data store used to perform the transformation is the same data store where the data is ultimately consumed. This data store reads directly from the scalable storage instead of loading the data into its own proprietary storage. This approach skips the data copy step present in ELT, which often can be a time-consuming operation for large data sets. So, this statement is true.